Hello, and welcome back to the Embedded Apprentice. Today, what I really want to talk to you about is what do I mean by embedded and firmware and some of these things that I just threw out there that don't make much sense. The reason I've decided to call this the Embedded Apprentice is that's what I do. I work on embedded systems, so computer systems that have a single dedicated purpose. So I showed a board like this. How do you make this board talk to things out in the real world? You write software for them, and that's what I do. That's what I've done for the past 15 plus years. Been an electrical engineer for over 25 years, and that's what I really like to do. I love writing firmware that makes the LEDs blink, that makes this work in the real world. So what is an embedded system? An embedded system is a system that is dedicated to a single task, which is kind of different than a PC. But if you think about a computer, here's a peripheral. This is a camera and microphone for my computer. Well, that's an embedded system because it does one single task. Your computer is kind of built up of a bunch of embedded systems. There's network cards, there's microphones, screens, display drivers. Those are all kind of individual embedded systems that build up this general purpose computing machine. I personally like working on firmware, so the software that actually drives the hardware. And a great definition for firmware, something that's easy to remember, is if the hardware changes, the firmware has to change. So things like Linux include the firmware in with the other software, but I can build Linux for lots of platforms. My computer, small cards like this, the BeagleBone Black, all those can run Linux, but the firmware itself that's actually running on the board changes. The kernel, things on top of the kernel, that's all the same. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to present this, the best way to get the information out there. There is a website and a blog at embeddedapprentice.com, kind of one word all smashed together. So the one thing that I have decided, and I will keep posting every week until we get all this figured out, this will be our mascot, the weird little thing I found in the bottom of the box last week. So thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you again next week. Thank you.